All right. So since we did the cash and trash list, the last thing we have to take care of for week 12 is the power rankings. How do we see this going into week 13? Who do we think the best teams are? Who moved up? Who moved down? And I'll tell you right off the rip, we've got 3 new teams in the top 10. We had to take 3 teams out. So yeah, let's start it off here. We'll go right from number 10 all the way to, up to number 1. New number 10 team. The Packers are moving up, folks. Do not worry. They're not one of the 3 teams. I'm knocking 3 teams right off the top 10, getting them out of there for good reasons and kind of relief for some of them. But for number 10, the Packers, they're moving up. The new number 10 team, we're moving this team back in. And once again, it's reluctant. I was really scraping the bottom of the barrel, folks. I'm really running out of teams to put in this top 10, but we're going to be very, very, very hesitant once again. The last time we put this team in the top 10, we were very, very hesitant, and then the next week we had to take them off. So once again, we're being very hesitant, and we'll probably have to take them off next week, but we're going to put the Buffalo Bills at number 10. I mean, Josh Allen, he's not reliable. 3 straight turnovers in the fourth quarter is absolutely unacceptable, especially at home and especially against they were lucky that they were facing the Chargers, who, I mean, if they had a lead staring them in the face, they would not know what the heck it is. I mean, that's truly how bad this Chargers team is. So we're going to put the Bills on here. Their record's good. They're division leader. Their defense is decent as well, and they've got some good pieces offensively. It's just Josh Allen. He makes some stupid plays. I'll call them straight up stupid plays. Live for another down. Don't try to win the game on one play. I mean, you lose when you try to win the game in one play. You lose the game in one play. So Josh Allen got to clean up the turnovers, definitely. But I do still like this Bills defense a little bit. I do like Sean McDermott. It's just Josh Allen. He's the main factor, and he's the quarterback. That's why he gets all the blame. That's why he gets all the praise, folks. So we don't like Josh Allen. I personally don't trust the man, but they're winning games. We have to give them a little bit of credit for winning the games. I mean, truly, that's all that matters in the NFL, winning games. So Bills are winning games. We're going to put them at 10, but we're going to take it cautiously with them. Buffalo Bills are now in the top 10. Alrighty, and this is why we take some teams very, very cautiously, because we put the Colts reluctantly at number 9 last week, and now thankfully we can take them off. They're off the top 10. I'm over them. They're exactly who I thought they were. Inflated wins over the Titans and Packers, and then when the Titans face them again, they just absolutely blow them out. They're giving up 35 points. This Colts defense is not good, and then you trust Phillip Rivers from behind. I would not do that. I mean, when Phillip Rivers gets behind, they just can't catch up. I mean, do we have to bring up the last time Tom Brady and Phillip Rivers faced in the playoffs? They got absolutely destroyed, like big time. So that's what we know of the Colts. They're not good. They'll never be good. Phillip Rivers is never good. I don't want to see that man in the Hall of Fame. I'll say it. Good regular season, but can't do anything in the playoffs. So if that's Hall of Fame to y'all, I don't want to be in that Hall of Fame. So Colts, I'm just so glad they're out of the top 10. I mean, it was really killing me that I had to put them in the top 10. They're out of here finally. And the new number 9 team, call me crazy. We're going to put the Browns here, folks. Once again, they're kind of like the Bills. I like everything except the quarterback, like the coach, like the running game. Oh my God, this Browns running game. This is why the Browns are 9 and the Bills are 10, because the Browns have a better running game. Nick Chubb is absolutely crazy, and Kareem Hunt's always been crazy. So they've got 2 of the best running backs in the game. Baker Mayfield is the only real question mark here. That's where we're going to start them off slowly a little bit. I do have more faith in the Browns than I did the Bills and the Colts. Because I do think Kevin Stefanski is really reeling in Baker Mayfield a lot, and I think Sean McDermott really has to start kind of reeling in Josh Allen a little bit. So they're controlling the game just through the run, just allowing Baker Mayfield to be a game manager, and that's perfect, because this Browns defense is good. This Browns offensive line is good. The running game is good. The wide receivers are good. So just having Baker Mayfield sit back, relax, let the run open up the pass, and that's what they're doing here. So I'm a big fan of this Browns team. Talent-wise, coaching-wise, love it. We're finally going to respect them here. They really haven't faced like the better teams yet, so that is still going to be the big question mark on them. Can they beat, the Seahawks, the Titans? Can they even maybe not even beat them, but can they be competitive and not get blown out? So that's still something we have to see for the Browns. They beat the Colts, so hey, I mean, it's fitting that they take their spot here in the top 10. But, yeah, I do like this Browns team. We are going to take it a little slow with them as well. we're going to start them at 9, see how they fare. Alrighty, Raiders, they're out of here. Another team out of the top 10. Done with them. I mean, yes, they're good against the Chiefs, but they got blown out against the Bucks, and they got blown out last week against the Falcons, so they're real all over the place, and that's something I don't want in the top 10. I do want kind of more consistency in my top 10, and we don't get that with the Raiders. So they can definitely try and get back in the top 10. There's places to be had. Bills, Browns, you can win those spots back, definitely. But we have to see more from the Raiders against, the better teams, being competitive more consistently, being more consistent on offense. I mean, we've seen times where they score 17 points, they win the game. They just scored, what did they put up, 9 or 6 or 3 or something pathetic like that. I think 3 points, but got to do a little bit better there offensively. All right, so they're out of the top 10, and our new number 8 team, I mean, we're gonna put the Rams at 8. We see they dropped from 4 to 8. I was not liking how they looked last week. That's kind of their one knock against them, is their offense. It's so shoddy, it's so hit and miss. It is, I don't want to say it's as hit and miss as the Raiders offense is, but it's still up there as hit or miss. I hate to compare it to this, but I think this Rams offense is kind of like the Bears offense. We see when Nick Foles is at the helm, we see like a lot of yards by Nick Foles, but not a lot of points, and that's kind of what we get for the Rams as well. We'll see Jared Goff put up 300 yards, but like 17 points, barely 20 points, not even 17 points, and that's real concerning. We saw what they did 2 weeks ago. That's why we moved them all the way up to 4. I thought finally their offense was going to start being consistent. Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, both 150 yards receiving, both touchdowns. I think both had like 2 touchdowns or something wild. But then we get last week when they faced the 49ers, and I guess they did have Richard Sherman back to shore up the 49ers off defense a little bit, but then they still I don't know, they just put up 20 points, and it's just not enough, and that's what we know about them. They have a very, very low offensive scoring ceiling. They really don't put up any more than 24 points a game. They really don't, folks. So once again, I do like the Rams defense, but this Rams offense is very, very hit and miss, so going to have to move them down a little bit, and we are going to have to keep an eye on them because I'm this close to knocking them out of the top 10. I'm truly this close. So Rams got to once again prove themselves this week coming up, but got to see something better from this offense, truly. All right, so Rams at number 8. Number 7 is going to be a new team, the Arizona Cardinals. They are officially out of the top 10. I'm done with them as well. They're just they only win one way, just going to DeAndre Hopkins over and over and over again. And when DeAndre Hopkins doesn't have a good game or doesn't have an explosive game, they lose. And you got to win multiple ways. So not liking what I saw from the Cardinals last week. Their offense, it did get locked up by New England's defense, and that's, granted, because they got Bill Belichick. That man deserves a lot of credit for the success in New England. Their defense is still good. So I will give, maybe the Cardinals a little bit of a benefit of the doubt losing against this Patriots defense, but still in the grand scheme of things, the record's starting to fall. They're not one of the premier teams anymore. Kyler Murray is still a good athlete, but folks, they have to start winning ways better offensively. Yes, I do like their defense, but still they start getting like a better running game, start finding other wide receivers to get the ball to besides just going to DeAndre Hopkins 13, 14, 15 times a game. I don't know if there's room in the top 10 for them, so we have to move Arizona out. And the team that we replace them with is going to be the Miami Dolphins, folks. This defense is truly great. Steelers and Dolphins are probably the 2 best defenses in the league for takeaways and just being good every single week. I think the Steelers are having a takeaway in every single game this season, and I think the Dolphins are also having a takeaway every game this season. So great defenses here. Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's a great backup quarterback. I would like to see Tua back in action, honestly. I don't think there's anything Tua can't do that Ryan Fitzpatrick can do. And Ryan Fitzpatrick has a tendency of throwing interceptions at the worst time possible, where Tua has yet to throw an interception that counted. He has kind of gotten away, kind of bailed out on some interceptions, getting called back by penalty. But hey, in the stat sheet, it goes down as a 0, so we have to kind of treat it as a 0. So, gonna move the Dolphins into number 7. Their offense, I think, is still decent for the lack of pieces. I meant offense if I said defense there. But their defense is one of the premier defenses in the league. They're holding the Jets to 3 points. I know that's not too much of an accomplishment, but hey, it's still something. 0 points the first meeting and 3 points against a division opponent. I mean, that's pretty good. So, love the defense. The offense is definitely something that needs to be improved. It's probably one of the worst offenses in the top 10. I mean, as I'm looking at it, Bills, do they have a better offense? I think so, by a little bit. Browns, I think, have a better offense, maybe by a little bit. Rams should be having a better offense, maybe by a little bit as well. So, I mean, this Dolphins defense is really the huge strength. I think the coaching is also a huge, great aspect for this Dolphins team too. They're looking good. They're 7-4 in the playoff hunt. We're going to reward them back in the top 10. They took a little bit of a week off. Bad performance against the Broncos 2 weeks ago, but then they shored it up, cleaned it up. Division game against the Jets in New York. That was a great showing for them. So we'll give them we'll give the Dolphins a little bit of the benefit of the doubt this week. Put them at 7. See what they do this week. See if we move them up. See if we move them down. I don't think we'll move them down because I do like their defense, folks. Alrighty, number 6. We are going to leave the New Orleans Saints at number 6. Taysom Hill didn't look great, but still running for the touchdowns. Okay, that's good. The defense was good, but they were facing no quarterback, so really can't judge them. It was just kind of a null week, in my opinion. The only thing that concerned me was Taysom Hill not throwing the ball too well. 9 completions for like not even 100 yards. Gotta start getting that. Still not throwing for a touchdown. Once again, I need to kind of see that a little bit. But they were going against Denver's defense, and they do have a decent defense at home, so I'm not going to put all the blame on Taysom Hill. It was a really wonky week where they weren't facing a quarterback. I mean, that definitely would affect the Saints offense as well. I mean, they're probably internally thinking to themselves, I mean, we can do whatever the hell we want. They're not going to put up any points. They put up 3 points, barely any points. So, going to leave the Saints at number 6. Going to kind of write this one off as a null week for the Saints just in general. I am going to kind of keep a little bit of a tab on Taysom Hill, but I don't think they deserve to move down, and I don't think they deserve to move up for their performance this week against a non-quarterback team. We'll leave the Saints at 6. See what they do this week. Alrighty, new number 5 team, and we're gonna, this is kind of the roller coaster ride we're playing with the Packers. They're once again back up on top. We're gonna move the Packers. They were at 10. Were they at 10? I think they were at 10. 10 or 8 or 10 coming into this week, and we're going to move them up to 5 for this week. Great offensive performance by Aaron Rodgers. I mean, this is what we want from them. 40-plus points, looking good from start to finish, really. Their defense took care of Mitch Trubisky, not too impressive, but I was really just focused on this Packers offense, and they were good. They didn't get complacent. They didn't turn the ball over. They didn't get bored. They kept their foot on the pedal for all 4 quarters, even though I don't think they scored in the 4th quarter. They still kept up the pressure. So very well done by the Packers. And this is the Packers team that really can be dangerous when their offense is just so on point. You can't stop them. I mean, this Bears defense is pretty good. It's a pretty good defense, but they could not stop Aaron Rodgers really from the get-go until the end of the game. So this is the Packers team that I want to buy into. That this is the Packers team that I want to talk about, want to watch Aaron Rodgers just sling it for touchdowns, no picks, game in, game out, 35-plus points every single game, coming away with W. So, going to reward the Packers back again. They're back, baby. They're back again. Do they fall off again? That's the real question. As I said, I mentioned the roller coaster. They've been up. They've been down. I don't want to take them out of the top 10, but I've rewarded them with like number 3. I've had to drop them all the way to number 10 because of some performances. So we'll see where they are next week. Are they back down next week, or are they just gonna still be climbing? I'm hoping they're gonna still be climbing. So we leave the Packers at 5. Or move the Packers up to 5. Alrighty, number 4 is going to be the Seattle Seahawks. They are back on top as well. We had to give Russell Wilson like maybe a week to just breathe and calm down a little bit. Seattle Seahawks, not Seattle Wilsons. Seattle Seahawks at number 4. I mean, folks, Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, deadliest combo in the league besides Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. Their defense is good, holding, Mitch Trubisky, I mean, I was going to say that, but Carson Wentz, I mean, they both play the same. So, I mean, so Seattle's defense is good. Their offense is good. Their running game is good. When Chris Carson is there, folks, this is a different Seattle offense, truly is. So, when Chris Carson is healthy, watch out for Seattle. They're one of the better They're one of the best teams in the league. You can never count them out. Russell Wilson is probably the best quarterback in the league. Probably doesn't win MVP, but I still think he is the best quarterback in the league, you know, mentally, athletically, passing wise, running, everything like that. Patrick Mahomes is definitely a close second, but I think I would take Russell Wilson just a little over Patrick Mahomes, just a little bit, just in the proven category. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the Seahawks team. Glad that they're back at number 4. When Russell Wilson doesn't turn the ball over, they win basically every game. So as long as they do that, Chris Carson's good. DK Metcalf is still being an absolute monster. The Seattle defense is starting to get, you know, back on track, getting into playoff, you know, form, not giving up a lot of points. We saw them give up a lot of points, not give up, you know, the straw that kind of loses them the game. That was kind of their early defense. Now this kind of second half, back end of the season defense, really just holding teams to under 20 or less points, controlling the game defensively. Love to see it. So we moved Seattle to number 4. Titans are going to stay at number 3, and I'm loving this Titans team, folks. I cannot say enough good things about this Titans team. They're very well coached. Derrick Henry is an absolute monster. Ryan Tannehill is an above-average game manager, and they've got wide receiver weapons, A.J. Brown and Corey Davis. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. The run game, the pass game, the receivers, the coaching staff, the defense is even getting better. Love it, love it, love it. As I said, I mean, they're putting up points now. I mean, folks, this is their third game with like 40 plus points. I mean, absolutely wild. So they can score a lot of points. They can hold you to not a lot of points defensively. They win in overtime. They win in the first half. They take you to the fourth quarter. They win in overtime. They win multiple ways. Love it, love it, love it. Titans, Titans, Titans. I want to move them up to number 1 so bad, so bad. But the Steelers are undefeated, folks, and this Kansas City Chiefs is explosive offense. But this Titans team, man, if it wasn't for Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and Tyreek Hill, and if it wasn't for Big Ben and all their receivers and Mike Tomlin, this Titans team really would be the best team in the league, folks. Truly great. Very solid number 3 spot for them. I cannot wait to watch their playoff run. I'm going to be rooting for them in the playoffs, and I'm going to be rooting for them to kind of win a title here. Oh, man, this Titans team, they're fun to watch, folks. Truly fun to watch. Chiefs are also going to stay at number 2. They won. Very well done for them. But we haven't seen the Steelers play, so we're going to leave the Chiefs at number 2. They're still the Chiefs that we know, the high explosive offense, just going to Tyreek Hill. Their defense is good as well. I mean, holding Tom Brady, picking him off twice. Very well done. And they're still beating the good teams. I mean, the Chiefs are very good, folks. Very, very good. And then we're going to keep the Steelers at number 1. I mean, honestly, if the Steelers and Chiefs faced, I think the Steelers defense can definitely hold them in check. In the way that the Steelers offense plays, I think they can exploit the Chiefs. They can dink and dunk. They can air it out. They can do it both ways. So I truly believe the Steelers can give the Chiefs a run for their money. This Steelers defense versus the Chiefs offense, now that is something I want to see. If that's the AFC Championship game, hey, I've got no problems with that either. So we're going to leave the Chiefs at number 2. Going to leave the Steelers at number 1. We'll see how they do tomorrow. I mean, if the Steelers lose tomorrow, we'll have a new number 1 come Thursday. But from what we've seen, from what we haven't seen, from what we have yet to see, we're going to leave the Chiefs at 2 and the Steelers at 1 still.